Okay, so what we're looking at here is a typical neuron, actually prototypical. Nothing really looks like this. It's certainly not colored in this manner. But to show you the different regions, you have this neuron to take a look at. And if you start at the left, you see these blue regions are these branch-like extensions coming off of the main region in the middle. These extensions are called dendrites. And the function of the dendrites is to pick up information from other neurons. The cell body itself contains really the workhorse of the cell, the mitochondria, the DNA, everything that helps the cell do what it's supposed to do, including the nucleus. This long extension coming off of the cell body is called an axon, A-X-O-N, axon. And axons of neurons have various lengths. They can be really short, not even a millimeter, or they can be very long. The longest axon we have in our body goes from the base of our brain down to the tail of our spinal cord. So it could be 2 or 3 feet. In a giraffe, it would be extremely long. And then branching off the axon, we have these red regions here. These are called teleodendria, also known as terminals. And you can see that there are multiple terminals coming off of this one axon. So this neuron here is picking up information really from 1,000 different cells, and it's sending information down to fewer, but still maybe up to 100 different cells. Okay, and that is the path that information flows from the left, or from the dendrites really. The information is summed or pooled in the cell body. The decision to make to fire an action potential or to send the message down the axon is made at the junction of the cell body and the axon. That's called the axon hillock. And at this point, the message becomes an action potential, and it travels down to the terminal. You can see that the axon is wrapped in this green-like substance. There's a different type of substance that insulates the axon, really. There are bare spots on the axon, and that's how the message travels. It jumps from one node to another. The material that's wrapped around the axon is called myelin sheath, myelin-sheath. There are different types of myelin. In particular, in the peripheral nervous system, the myelin is called Schwann cells. And in the central nervous system, this myelin is called oligodendroglia. And the biggest difference between those two, other than their fancy names, is that the Schwann cells allow for regeneration. So if this axon was damaged, the Schwann cells would help guide the regrowth so that you can reinnervate whatever this target is. But in the central nervous system, there is no regrowth. So once damage occurs in the central nervous system, there's no recovery of this axon from that damage. Okay, so Schwann cells in the peripheral nervous system, oligodendroglial cells in the central nervous system. And the function really is to insulate this axon to speed up neural transmission, so the message can go from here to here to here to here. It just jumps from node to node. And then once the message comes into the terminal, it goes from an electrical message it returns into a chemical message. And that's what we'll talk about next time.